have to adequately cover the mother, which means that her lower part of the body should be covered, and up till and from here her chest should be covered. Between her chest and pubic symphysis, this area should not be covered. Right? Now you are going to stand on right hand side of the mother, and then you are going to perform Leopold's maneuvers. For first 3 maneuvers, you are going to face towards the face of the mother, and for the last maneuver, you are going to face towards the feet of the mother. Now, in Leopold's first maneuver, I will need someone to hold the mic so that. In Leopold's first maneuver, I am going to take both my hands and I am going to palpate. I am going to palpate the fundus of the uterus. Right? Now, if you can feel anything in the fundus of the uterus, this means that the lie is longitudinal. Because if it is transverse lie, you will not feel anything. The fundus of the uterus would be empty. Right? So this means this grip, which is called as fundal grip, in case of transverse lie is empty. In case of longitudinal lie, you will feel something. So Leopold's first maneuver tells you about the lie of the baby. What is it telling you? Lie. If you are feeling anything, definitely it has to be longitudinal lie. And if you are not feeling anything, it has to be transverse lie. Right? Number 1. Number 2. Now, depending upon what you are feeling, if you feel that there is a broad, smooth, soft area, right? Broad feel हो रहा है, smooth feel हो रहा है, and soft feel हो रहा है. That means you are palpating the buttocks of the baby. This means head of the baby is down, and that means it is cephalic presentation. Right? On the other hand, if you feel a rounded, globular, firm structure, it means you are feeling the head. That means buttocks are down, and that means it is breech presentation. Right? So what is the first Leopold maneuver telling you? It is telling you about lie, and it is telling you about presentation. Have all of you understood this? Yes? And have you understood how do you describe the feeling of buttocks? Buttocks are soft, broad, smooth structures. And how do you define head? Globular, firm, rounded structure. Right? Now after this, I am going to move my hand from the fundal area to the area parallel to the umbilicus. Right? This is what is called as Leopold's second maneuver, or it is called as umbilical grip or lateral grip. What is it called as? Umbilical grip or lateral grip. In umbilical grip or lateral grip, on one side you will feel the back of the baby, right? And on the other side you will feel the limbs, right? So, agar back is on mother's left side, so limb will be on right side. Agar back is on mother's right side, so limb will be on left side. पहले इतना समझ में आ गया कि on one side there will be back, on the other side there will be limbs. Another thing which I want you to note, जिस side पे back होगी, on that side is the occiput. Yes. Right? If back is on left side, occiput is also on left side. And occiput tells you about the position. Right? So if I am feeling back on the left side, it means occiput is on the left side, This means that the position of the baby is either LOT, LOA or LOP. Right? And if back is on the right side, this means occiput is also on the right side. And that means position is either ROT, ROA or ROP. So what is Leopold's second maneuver telling me? Position of the baby. Now, how do you get the feeling of back? How will it be written that back, how is back की feeling described as? You are going to get a board-like continuous feeling. एक board की तरह feel होगा. A board-like continuous feeling. Whereas, how are the feeling of limbs? Multiple irregular knobby structures. Right? Knobby, knob-like. K-N-O-B, knob-like structures. Right? So back कैसे describe होती है? Back is described as continuous board-like feeling. Right? Whereas how are the limbs described as? Multiple irregular knob-like structures. So what did Leopold's second maneuver tell you? It told you about position of the baby. Right? Now from the sides, I am shifting my single hand. Now I am going to just use my single hand and I will place it above the pubic symphysis of the mother. This is Leopold's third maneuver. Please see, I am still facing the face of the mother. Leopold first maneuver mein I was facing the face of the mother. Second maneuver mein I was facing the face of the mother. And third maneuver mein still I am facing the face of the mother. And I am using a single hand which I am keeping above pubic symphysis. Right? Now with this single hand I will try to feel what am I feeling. Right? If I am feeling a firm globular structure, rounded structure, that means I am feeling the head. And that means it is cephalic presentation. So what is Leopold's third maneuver telling me? Presentation. Leopold's third maneuver is also called as Paulick grip. P-A-W-L-I-K. Paulick grip. Right? Second thing which Leopold's third maneuver tells me. Now that pelvis cannot be detached, but imagine the pelvis was here. And suppose the head of the baby has gone inside the pelvis. Now what I am trying to do is, I am trying to rotate the head of the baby from side to side. Right? If you can move the head of the baby from side to side, that means head has not entered the pelvis. And if you cannot move the baby's head from side to side, that means head has entered the pelvis. And when head enters the pelvis, that is called as engagement. So what is Leopold's third maneuver telling me? Second thing, whether the head of the baby is engaged or not. And this movement, when you try to move the baby's head from side to side, this is called as ballotability. So if head of the baby is ballotable, that means it has not entered the pelvis. If head of the baby is not ballotable, it means it has entered the pelvis. Are you understanding this? Yes? So Leopold's third maneuver is telling me about two things. Number one, about the presentation. And number two, about ballotability. In other words, about engagement. Clear? Now comes Leopold's fourth maneuver. For performing the fourth maneuver, I will turn towards the feet of the patient. Right? If I do from here, you will not be able to see. So I am coming on the wrong side, you will not originally come on the wrong side. Right? So now with my both hands, I am going to keep it parallel to the inguinal ligament and I am going to feel what is there. Right? So this is called as Leopold's fourth maneuver, or this is called as deep pelvic grip. What is it called as?
Deep pelvic grip.
And again, I will try to see कि क्या feel हो रहा है. Again, if I am feeling a firm, globular, rounded structure, that means I am feeling the head, and that means I am reconfirming that this is cephalic presentation. Right? So actually, Leopold's fourth maneuver reconfirms the findings of third maneuver. Right? Number two. Number two, suppose this is the pelvis, abhi head is above the pelvis. Right? Now I am going to take my both hands and I will try to bring them below the head. If I am easily able to bring my both hands below the head, that means head has not entered the pelvis. In other words, if my fingers are converging below the head, that means head has not entered the pelvis. Right? That means the engagement has not happened. Now suppose head has entered the pelvis. If head has entered the pelvis, no matter how much I try, I cannot take my hand below the head. So no matter how much I try, my fingers will not converge, rather they will diverge. Right? So if your fingers are diverging, that means head has entered the pelvis. So Leopold's fourth maneuver again is reconfirming that whether the head has entered the pelvis or not, that is head is engaged or not, and the presentation. So what is Leopold's fourth maneuver doing? It is doing exactly what third was doing. And there is one additional thing which Leopold's fourth maneuver tells you. You don't need to know how, but you just need to know there is one additional information given by Leopold's fourth maneuver, and that is attitude of the baby. From the Leopold's fourth maneuver, you can also come to know. No camera here, I'm just speaking. From Leopold's fourth maneuver, you come to know everything what you came to know in Leopold's third maneuver. Right? What were the things which Leopold's third maneuver told you? It told you about presentation and it told you about engagement. Other than this, Leopold's fourth maneuver tells you about one additional thing. And that additional thing is attitude of the baby. You don't need to know how it tells you about attitude. You just need to know that Leopold's fourth maneuver also tells you about attitude. So tell me, Leopold's first maneuver tells you about lie and presentation. Leopold's second maneuver tells you about position. Leopold's third maneuver, presentation and engagement with the help of vulnerability. Right? Leopold's fourth maneuver tells you about presentation, engagement and attitude. Clear to all of you? Any confusions? No? Thank you so much. Thank you. Just clap for it.